I wasn't invited to my brother's housewarming, which already fell off, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. That afternoon, I happened to be in the area running a few errands and figured I'd swing by his new place, just to see if maybe I was overthinking. But the second I turned down his street, I knew something was up. Cars were lined up all down the curb, even parked up on the sidewalk and grass. I spotted my mom's SUV, my Uncle Rob's old gray van, my cousin Kayla's beat-up blue hatchback. I swear, I wasn't creeping. Anyone could have figured out what was going on. I slowed down and looked over. There were people everywhere in the yard. Balloons, speakers set up, even one of those inflatable bounce castles for the kids. Music was blasting. Everyone from my mom's side was there. Like, literally everyone. Except me. I pulled over just down the block and sat there for a second, hoping maybe I'd missed a message or something. I checked my phone. Nothing. Scrolled through the family group chat. Last post was a pic of my brother, Devin, standing in front of his new house with my parents and a bunch of other relatives. He captioned it, "Wouldn't have made it without my crew." That's dumb. I figured maybe it was a surprise thing or a last-minute gathering and somehow I'd slipped through the cracks. I didn't want to assume the worst right away, so I gave him a quick call. He picked up after a couple rings, sounding like he was in the middle of something. All he said was, "Yeah?" I said, "Hey, I'm nearby, saw the cars. Is there something going on today?" Wasn't sure if I was supposed to be there. There was a pause. And then, clear as day, he goes, "Why would we invite you? No one wants you here. You always make everything worse." I thought he was trying to be funny, so I kind of laughed and said, "All right, but seriously, am I welcome or not?" And that's when I heard my mom. Loud, in the background, not even trying to be quiet. She said, "This house isn't for mistakes like you." Then the line just cut. He hung up on me. I sat there in the car, not crying or anything. Just boiling. This kind of heat rising in my chest, like I was about to explode. But mostly, I just felt stupid, for thinking maybe I was still part of them. I messaged my mom after that. She left me on read. My dad doesn't pick up my calls anymore unless it's something to do with Devin or fixing some gadget of his. Thing is, this isn't new. Devin's always been the favorite. The golden boy. The one who could do no wrong. Me? I was the one who screwed up in school, didn't go to the right college, didn't land the kind of jobs they brag about. I've made mistakes, yeah? I've lost my temper, I've said some stuff I shouldn't have, but I'm not some train wreck like they make me out to be. Devin's the one who totaled my mom's car in high school and pinned it on me, and they believed him. That's just one example. It's always been like this. So I drove off. Didn't go home. Ended up in this empty corner of a gas station lot just sitting. I played dumb games on my phone, scrolled around. Tried to distract myself. I called my buddy Trevor, but he was tied up. I thought about crashing the party, making a scene, but that'd just give them more to say about me, wouldn't it? Later, I watched their stories online. My mom hugging Devin, champagne toasts, everyone looking picture perfect. And yeah, they saw my car outside. I'm not invisible. They just chose to ignore me like I wasn't even real. That night I texted Devin. Just 2 words, say less. He never replied. Pretty sure he blocked me. And honestly, I'm not even mad about that. I've been going over everything I've done for them over the years. The favors, the fixes, the late-night tech support, all of it. I'm the one they call when the Wi-Fi's down. When they need something heavy moved. When my mom can't remember how to log into her email. And Devin? He calls me for everything, even when it's just how to use his own damn remote. I've been the one holding their crap together. No more. I know some people might say I'm being dramatic. I don't care. You don't get to treat someone like trash for years and expect them to keep showing up with a smile. I'm not your fixer. I'm not your backup plan. And I'm definitely not your mistake. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But I'm not letting this slide. I know them. I know how they operate. What they depend on. I'm not out here trying to break laws or anything like that. But I'm done playing nice. I'm not going to keep being the quiet when they walk all over while they toast to each other like I never existed. Devin might be the star in their eyes, but I'm about to remind him who's really been holding this family up behind the scenes. And my mom? She's not off the hook either. She's been pushing this favoritism since forever. I'm tired of it. I'm not looking for advice or people telling me to. Just let it go. I just wanted to put this out there. In case anyone else out there gets what this kind of family crap feels like. If you've been made to feel like the outsider in your own bloodline, yeah, I see you. I'm not taking it anymore. I'll update if anything changes. I've got a couple things in mind. Let's just say, they're not gonna like how this all shakes out. Update 1. Okay, so this blew up way more than I expected. My inbox has been flooded, some folks telling me to just cut my losses and move on, others saying I should go full scorched earth. Honestly, not shocked. But the one thing everyone keeps asking is why things are like this with my family. What's the actual backstory? And what do I plan on doing now? So here it is, some background. I'm not trying to justify them, just laying out how it's always been. My brother, his name's Connor, is the one who always got it right. He's not some villain or anything. He just figured out early on how to play into what my parents care about. Clean cut. Played sports? Went along with all my mom's little competitions, best school photos, highest GPA, who could wrap the prettiest Christmas gift. That kind of stuff. Me? I questioned everything. Called out what didn't sit right. Pushed back when mom would make comments like, "You're seriously going out in that?" Or, "You're supposed to support your brother, not distract him." I got slapped with the problem child label so fast, it's almost laughable now. I still remember this one time when we were around 12. We were fighting over the Switch, yeah, the old one, not even the OLED, and he straight up shoved me off the couch. I went flying, smacked the corner of the coffee table, nose bleeding and everything. My mom runs in, sees the blood, and the first thing out of her mouth? "What did you do now, Milo?" That's how it always went. Connor never got punished. Ever. School was the same deal. Teachers adored him. I got constant notes home. Doesn't complete assignments, talks too much. Whatever. At home, I was stuck with all the chores that didn't show. Cleaning closets, scrubbing baseboards. Connor mowed the lawn once, posted a pic, and mom bragged to everyone at church. Meanwhile, I spent 3 weekends reorganizing the garage, and all I got was, "You missed a corner." In my family, if something breaks, everyone just assumes it's my fault. Connor once scraped the entire side of Dad's car backing out of the driveway. He cried, said I was yelling at him, and made him lose focus. I wasn't even outside. Still, Dad turns to me and says, "Why can't you just let your brother concentrate?" Like I could get hit by lightning and they'd still ask if I caused the scene. Nothing's changed now that we're older. The only difference is there's more tech and more subtle digs. Connor still hits me up for help, with his phone, his Wi-Fi, his Nest thermostat. My mom. She forgets her Apple ID password every 6 weeks like clockwork. And every time, I'm the one they call. I show up, fix it, and get some backhanded comment like, "Well, at least you're good for something." Dad? Just gives a shrug and goes back to whatever show he's glued to. No one checks in on me. No one asks how I'm doing. I try to bring up my job or mention something going on with my apartment, and boom, the subject flips to Connor's latest project or some nonsense about Aunt Carla's divorce. That housewarming? Just the latest slap in the face. Not even the worst one, just the one I couldn't ignore. So yeah, after they all ghosted me, I finally decided I'm done being their free IT guy. This wasn't some tantrum, I just stopped replying. My mom called. First time in ages she called me. I answered, and she sounded drained, like she'd been sighing all morning. She says, "Things are already tense enough. Can't you just help your brother for once?" I go, "You mean, for free?" Click. She hung up. Next time I saw them was at my cousin Megan's birthday. I almost didn't go, but I knew if I skipped, the whole family would say I'm isolating myself again. So I showed up. Backyard cookout. Kids running around. My Uncle Vince flipping hot dogs on a tiny grill. Connors by the drink cooler, already irritated because he can't get his Bluetooth speaker to work. Mom looks at me like I just wandered in off the street. I ignored it. Grabbed a soda and hung out with Megan's kid, who kept asking about my phone case. About an hour in, Connor walks over and goes, "Can you just fix the speaker?" I say, "Why not ask Mom?" He rolls his eyes, starts throwing attitude. Calls me difficult. Says no one else knows how. I just go, "Yeah, that's the point, isn't it?" He nudges me, not enough to hurt, but enough to make me spill some of my drink. I warn him, "Try that again and see what happens." He storms off and slams the patio door. Of course, 5 minutes later, Mom corners me in the kitchen, whisper yelling about how I'm making things worse. Tells me I should be grateful to even be included after how I act. I ask her what the hell that even means. She just sighs like I'm not worth explaining things to. Dad's in the same room, scrolling on his phone like we're not even there. So I left. No goodbye. Just walked out. And ever since, I've been thinking, why am I even doing this? Showing up, helping out, being their backup plan, when all they do is put me down or pretend I don't exist. I actually sat down and started making a list. Just to see if maybe I was being dramatic. Turns out, I wasn't. I've done everything from fixing Mom's ancient printer to installing Connor's entire smart home system. Lights, thermostat, camera setup, all of it. Helped Dad recover his email so many times I could write a manual. And they never say thank you. Not once. It's just expected. But the truth is, I know all their passwords. I know how every inch of that house is wired. I know their internet provider, their energy company. Everything. I know how Levi handles his HOA payments. Every bit of it. I know exactly when his bills are due, where they stash the spare keys, even the alarm code to the place. Not because I went snooping, it's just that I was always the one expected to set that stuff up. They never lifted a finger. I'm not saying I'm planning anything shady. I don't need to break any laws to shake things up. But I've had it with being their free ID guy, their emotional dumping ground, and the one they love to blame when things go sideways. So yeah, this is where we are now. Levi's fuming. My mom's acting like I ran over her cat. My dad. Classic silent mode. Nobody's apologized. Not one word about what they pulled at the housewarming. I'm done waiting. I've got a plan. I'm not dropping all the details here, because let's be real, it's a little spicy, but they're not gonna like it. I'm not just walking away quietly. I'm making sure they feel it when I go. Levi wants to treat me like I'm some fluke in the family? Cool. Let's see how he deals when real problems show up and I'm not there to sweep them under the rug. I'll post the next part once it's in motion. Alright, here we go. Like I said, here's the update. Honestly, I waited a bit longer than I planned to share this because, well, stuff kept happening. And I wanted to see just how far they'd take it. Call it petty if you want. But if you grew up the way I did, you'd understand. So right after that disaster at Vanessa's birthday, I cut my mom off completely. No quick favor texts. No replies to Levi. Nothing. His whole house set up? I built that. He barely figured out how to link a Bluetooth speaker, and now he's got his smart lights, garage, thermostat, all on schedules I created. And guess what? He's never changed the passwords, even after I told him over and over that he should. Too busy showing off his automated life on Instagram. So I started simple. I turned off the routines that made his place comfortable. No more auto-unlock on his door, no lights switching on when he walks in, no heat kicking in when it's cold. Left the Wi-Fi running, just so he couldn't play the tech issues card. The rest? Let him deal with the inconvenience, one glitch at a time. He calls. Leaves messages. Tries to keep it casual like, "Hey man, mind checking the system?" I just ignore him. Then the group chat lights up. My mom's texting. "Your brother says the house isn't working right. Can you help please?" I leave her on read. First time ever. Bumped into her at the Hannaford that weekend, right near self-checkout, and she corners me like, "You really need to help Levi. You know how he gets." I just go, "Yeah, I'm good." She actually slapped my arm. Not hard, but hard enough for people nearby to notice. I walked out. Then there's the HOA. Levi's neighborhood is ridiculous with rules, like Stepford level strict. He's already gotten a notice about the bins being out too long, patchy lawn, the mailbox not being standard or whatever. I only know because I helped him sign up for the portal. Still had the login, of course. So I used it. Didn't fake anything, just flagged the stuff that was already wrong, the busted fence, his car parked halfway on the grass. They started hitting him with fines. I only heard about it because he called my dad, swearing I was sabotaging him. My dad called me after. I let it ring. I wasn't even mad. Honestly, it cracked me up. All those years of running around cleaning up their messes, and now they can't even reset a light switch. Meanwhile, my mom's still locked out of her Apple account. She's sending screenshots to the family group chat like I'm tech support. I just replied, "Ask Levi. He's the expert." She showed up at my place the next day. Stood outside knocking. I didn't answer. She eventually gave up but made sure to call me ungrateful, loud enough for the neighbors to hear, of course. And it wasn't just them. Levi's wife, Mel, started texting me on the side. She usually stays out of it, but I guess she'd had enough of him griping. She asked if I could help fix the garage lights and camera notifications, said she was tired of missing delivery alerts. I just told her it wasn't my problem. She sent back this whole long message about how she's just trying to keep the peace. I didn't reply. If she wants peace, she can take it up with her husband and my mom. A few days later, I get a call from my Uncle Dale. He says Levi's been complaining nonstop at every get-together, and that I should be the bigger person. I asked him straight up, "When's the last time Levi ever fixed anything for me?" He just sighed and said, "Well, you know how he is." I hung up. I'm not playing that role anymore. Then, last weekend, Levi actually came to my apartment. No heads up. Just rang the bell. I looked through the peephole and there he was, holding his phone, looking pissed. I opened the door just a crack, and he goes, "You need to fix my house. Nothing's working." Says Mom told him I was doing it on purpose. I said, "I'm not your fixer." He tried to shove past me. I blocked him. He pushed my shoulder, I pushed back. Told him, "Get off my porch." He started yelling about how I ruin everything, how I always make it about me. I slammed the door in his face. He stood there for another couple minutes then left. That night, my mom called using my dad's phone. I picked up just so they'd stop spamming me. She was crying, saying I was tearing the family apart, that Levi just needs some help, that he's under so much pressure. I reminded her, "You didn't want me at the housewarming, remember?" She went quiet then tried to backtrack. "That was a mistake. We didn't mean it." I hung up. The next morning, Levi got another fine from the HOA. I know because Mel ranted about it on her private story, something about nosy neighbors and people needing to mind their business. I laughed. She doesn't even realize it's me reporting it. So yeah? They're unraveling. And I haven't even done anything illegal, just letting them feel what it's like when I'm not there to clean up. For once, I'm not carrying the whole family. I did wonder if I was going too far, but then I remembered the way Levi talks to me, the way my mom once called me a mistake. Nah. I'm just getting warmed up. And honestly, part of me feels a little bad for Mel. But hey, she chose him. This next move I've got planned? Oh, it's gonna be the best one yet. They still don't have a clue how deep this is about to go. Final update. It's been about a month since that whole housewarming mess, And I swear, I didn't mean for things to blow up this much, but I'm not sorry either. I told them they'd remember, and I guess that moment finally hit. Honestly? Watching them go from, "You're the problem," to, "Please help us," has been wild. People keep asking what ended up happening, so here it is, the real wrap-up. It started with the calls. Not just Jonah blowing up my phone, but my parents, even Alina, his wife. I was getting texts before I even got out of bed, random voicemails with just background noise or someone breathing heavy, like they didn't even know what to say. I ignored every one of them. What were they gonna do? Say sorry after all these years and expect me to come save them? Yeah, right. Jonah's place, which, by the way, I set up completely, every smart feature, every shortcut, every automation, was falling apart. Lights flicking on at 2 a.m., alarms pinging for no reason, cameras sending false alerts, the garage only opening if you yanked it up manually. Alina even joked on her story that they were living in a haunted condo. I laughed. Honestly, it just looked like they were finally experiencing the kind of chaos I'd always had to clean up for them. But it got worse when Jonah started missing payments to the housing board. And of course, he never changed the account logins, just assumed I'd keep babysitting it forever. I stopped reminding him, and like clockwork, late notices hit. Fines for the trash bins, the patchy lawn, even a warning about his car not being parked properly. I didn't even have to touch anything. Just stop doing everything. Uncle Greg was the one who told me. Apparently Jonah was ranting to anyone who'd listen. Greg called me, trying to play peacemaker, asking if I could just help. I told him flat out. They said I wasn't family? So go ask Jonah's real family for help. Meanwhile, my mom was spiraling too. She missed a few bill payments, couldn't get back into her Apple account, and started acting like it was the end of the world because she couldn't post her daily rants online. She showed up outside my building, banging on the door like a cop. I didn't open it. She yelled through it, called me a coward, and peeled off so hard her car alarm went off. I was in the kitchen making a sandwich. Didn't even flinch. The best part? Alina tried to play the diplomat. Send me this long emotional message about how the family's falling apart, and we need to act like adults. I texted her back one thing. Do you remember what your mother-in-law said to me at the party? She didn't reply. Next day, Jonah's calling again, full-on meltdown. Yelling into the phone about how nothing in the house works, the board's threatening fines, my mom's losing it, and he doesn't know what to do. Then he hits me with, "What do you want from me?" And I told him, "You should have thought about that before you decided I wasn't part of the family." Click, he hung up. Then out of nowhere, my dad calls. First time in weeks. Starts talking like we're equals now. "Family's family," he says. "You're being immature." I told him, "Nah, I just learned from the best." He got pissed, said I was making things harder than they had to be. I said, "Welcome to my life." He didn't have much to say after that. They're clearly desperate now. I get added to the family group chat, first time in ages. My mom's in all caps begging me to tell them how to fix everything. "We didn't mean it. Please. Just help." Jonah chimes in, offering to pay me. Alina wants to meet for coffee to talk it out. I left the whole thread unread. And I didn't feel a thing. Not guilt. Not anger. Just peace. I remembered all those times I was their plan B. Their fallback. The one who had to figure it out while they rolled their eyes at me for being too sensitive. They can figure out their own mess now. Vanessa's the only one who hasn't said anything. Probably because she knows I'm serious this time. Even Uncle Greg stopped texting after I told him if he cared that much, he could come mow Jonah's lawn himself. As for me? Life's calm. I go to work. I see my friends. My phone doesn't light up with nonsense about Wi-Fi or printers. No group drama. No door knocks. Just quiet. I even sat in the park the other day and just watched the ducks. First time in forever I wasn't bracing for someone else's crisis. This is what happens when you treat someone like they don't matter, like they're only good when they're useful. Eventually, they stop showing up. They still try. Still send the guilt texts. I just mute the chat and move on. I'm not going back. Not unless something real changes, and even then, I don't know if I'd care anymore. People say I'm being harsh. Maybe. But after all this time, someone had to show them what it's like. That's it. No movie moment. No dramatic showdown. Just me, finally done. Not their mistake anymore.